Okay, guys, we are officially on the Wisconsin map. We are staying on the Wisconsin map, and I am going to give you guys a full map tour of the Wisconsin map right now. Oh, yeah, and we got Bo here with us, too. We're both doing a little dancing. He's doing a little moonwalk in there, and we are going to roll. Check out this map. Now, before we get into this, I do have to say that this map has not been released yet. We do not have a release date. I can tell you it's coming in weeks' time. Basically, I can't say if it's 1 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or anything like that, because basically once this map is perfect and ready to go, we launch it like the day after we think it's perfect. But I don't know how long it takes to get this perfect. But we have publicly announced it, and so I want to do an overview of this map, give you guys an idea. There are a couple things that are in the process of actually getting changed on some farms, which I will run through also. So we've got the pickup truck. I color customized it at RCC because I love the two-tone, the red, and then this like the two-tone, I call it like a cream color basically. But if you guys don't know, in RCC now you can customize all colors and like options of your trucks. Okay, so here we go. We're right now we're centered in the middle of the map. Now when we look at this map, the southern portion, so like these fields, are like really flat across here. So they're like, you can still run big equipment on there. We want a little bit mixed because some portions of Wisconsin you can still run big equipment on. There's a couple flatter fields that you can run big equipment. So the south portion you can run bigger equipment, but once you get to the north portion, it's like smaller fields like you would have in Wisconsin. Now, I know I'm going to get questions. Grant, why aren't these terraced? Why aren't there terraces and everything's farmed on the contour? The reason is because AI workers would just not work at all. I know you guys are saying it would be realistic to have terraces and farm on the contour. I know. You can still farm that way, but we just don't have them like in the fields. But this is similar to Wisconsin with smaller fields, and it gets extremely hilly out here. Now, if we go into the farms, there's 3 starter farms. You have 1 pig farm, 1 cattle farm, and 1 grain farm. So you got 3 different starter farm options to choose from. We're gonna drive around the map, give you guys a tour, and I am so excited because this has been long works of the process, and I can't say much, guys, but like, you know, if this turns out good, we could make more states and more states and more states. And like, I'm not saying it's happening, I'm just saying like, if people have recommendations, there's a chance that's what I would love to see out of this game, is more and more states. I do want to say we're expanding the team at Squad Built, and we're continuing to make this game better and focusing all on it. And that was part of this. Is a year ago we looked at expand into building another map and stuff like that. So I want to say we have a ton of focus on this. Also, this map will be DLC that will be priced at $4.99. Just to be extremely clear, it is going to be a paid DLC. Now, first stop here, co-op. So this is a giant co-op we got here. Big bin site. I forgot what the name of this co-op is, but we got a giant co-op here. I want to take you guys to some of the farms. I may not catch all the farms, but I'm going to catch some of the farms here. Okay, guys, first starter farm here. We have the hog starter farm that's going here. Now, what's kind of cool about this is you've got your hog starter farm here, and you've got your, here, let me pull in here. Okay, we're going to hop out for a sec. Like, beautiful setup, beautiful like hog starter farm here. Right, you know, you got your modern house, you got your machine shed, which is actually a pretty big machine shed for a hog starter farm. And then you've got your farrowing pen, you've got equipment storage, and then you've got the hog barn here, which I think holds 100 head. But then what we did is now across the road, if you want to continue off your starter hog farm, you can purchase these hog buildings. You got 2 big hog buildings across the road, so you can still stay on your starter farm, but then have the hog buildings along with it, which is nice. And then there's also a grain bin site across the road too on the hog starter farm with a dryer, and it's just kind of cool. It's like one of those farming operations where you have like part of your farm on one side of the road and part of the farm on the other side of the road. And I really like the design of this place. So this is one of the starter farm options. And then another starter farm. As we get into Wisconsin, it gets hilly. And I like hills in farming games, guys. I don't just like everything completely flat. I like hills like this, and we get to hilly Wisconsin over here. As you enter this is the starter grain farm. You got a little creek, a little bridge to cross. You got a Quonset building. Your house is stuck back here. You got an old barn. You got your old machine shed garage here. And then you have another machine shed here, which is a pretty large storage shed for a starter farm. You have cold storage, and then you just have your bin site here, which is honestly a pretty large bin site for a starter farm. So like just starter grain farm, this is This is where it is, and it comes with obviously probably a lot of land as a starter grain farm. I just love the hilly design of this Wisconsin map. So, random house, of course, just acreage house, part of the design, and then you come back here and you get into the hilly part of Wisconsin back here. I mean, that's a pretty hilly field if you look across there. Got a lot of creeks. Look at this design here. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful back here. I absolutely love this map. Another extremely hilly field across here. Now, here we go, guys. You come up out of this river bottom. That's extremely steep field there, and you come up this like a really long road. And this is by far one of my favorite farms. Okay, guys, this is one of the coolest farms I want to show you guys. This is just like the big mega farm that we're going for. First off, you got 2 hog barns over there. So you can run hogs on this farm. You got a ridiculously giant grain site here with insane grain storage. You have your smaller house up here. It's got a smaller house. Let me just walk around this place. Okay, you have your shop in here, which you guys have seen this shed before. We got our blue silo over here. And then this is actually getting switched around a little bit, guys. This is one thing that's actually going to be changed. This is going to be a dairy operation. So you're going to have your dairy operation over here. And then over here, you're going to have your dairy barn too. So this is going to be a dairy farm. And a couple things are getting switched around. So that's why I'm not saying too much yet. But this will be a dairy farm. So you'll have your dairy farm. You'll have hogs. And then you'll have grain on this farm too. I mean, look at the rolling hills, the terrain of Wisconsin. That looks beautiful. Being able to see that co-op in the background. Look how hilly this thing is. And then you got bale storage too. So this is going to be a bale storage shed, of course, over here. And then on top of that, there's another shop. So this is the other shop. This is one of my favorite shops. Now, this is a new shop that came to American Farming. And it's a beautiful machine shed. Like, absolutely beautiful. Check this out here. We'll fold up the door. It's got a hydraulic door that just like lifts up. And then, you know, just a giant door, and it's got two overhead doors that just or 2 roll-up doors, I should say, on the sides here to get equipment out. But basically, you got your big, I'll call it airplane hanger hydraulic door over there. Then you got another roll-up door over here that just kind of goes out to the road. This is a beautiful shop that just got added to the Wisconsin map here. So this is going to be one of the mega farms, I'm going to call it, where you can run dairy, you can run hogs, and then you can run grain across here. Okay, me and Bo are off to the next farm. Okay, guys, now this is a cattle starter farm. So this is the 3rd starter farm option here, and this is the cattle starter farm. So pull in the driveway, you got your cold storage machine shed over here. You got another open cold storage machine shed. You have your house, little garage up there. Got a couple bins. Check this out, because you got the Wallinga vac that unloads there, auger here that will load up the bins. So a couple smaller bins on this cattle farm, so you can still run grain if you want to on this starter farm. This is really cool here. And then this is how you unload. You got the Wallinga vac here. Now, if we go through here, we got our silo, of course. You got a couple starter tractors that are already kind of set up for this farm. So you got some starter equipment. What's kind of interesting with the starter equipment is that it's all like hay focused equipment on the cattle starter farm. Like, it's all cattle focused. You really don't have much grain farming equipment for the cattle starter farm, as you can see. So, you know, you got your manure spreader, you got your mowers, you got your balers, you got everything like that. So then got the cow-calf building, and then they have the feedlot / pasture portion. Now, the really cool thing, guys, about Wisconsin is there has been alfalfa added to Wisconsin now. So that's something that is really neat. So we got the alfalfa crop here, and I'll drop her down here. We're going to get a hire worker going. And there we go. We have alfalfa on this field. So not only do you have hay in this game, we now have, so we have hay, wheat, soybeans, corn, but we also have alfalfa here. And then of course, we got our rolling hills. We're getting to the more flat portion of the map now. We're coming back up to the flat portion of the map. We have a town, which I think I've drove past. And then we also have another co-op sell point over here too. So there's another co-op sell point where you can sell grain. It's what we call ye old mill on Iowa map. And then there's a little gas station there. I don't think you can actually get gas from the gas station, but there's a little gas station there. And then there's the dairy where you can sell your milk at, right across there. Okay, we're going to another farm because there's a lot of farms on this map, guys. And heck, I may even miss one in this review. There's so many farms on this map. And this is what I'll call the flatter portion of the map as we get over here. long driveway up here, bunch of trees, and then this is a large grain farm basically across this map. So walk across here. It's got the giant machine shed, one of the bigger machine sheds here. It's got the door that I call it the airplane hangar door, but it's the hydraulic door. Actually, I need to buy this farm real quick. There we go. Giant machine shed here. I do like this airplane hangar door over the other doors because the other big machine shop we had, the doors weren't wide enough, and so this giant door basically allows you to pull any equipment in, not have to run to the walls, stuff like that. That's what I like about this. More cold storage, grain bin site, giant grain bin site, and then more cold storage here across this building. So, or I should say open storage. So just basically just a big giant grain farm we got going here. I should really show you guys where I am on the map too. So here's where the dealership's gonna be. This is on what I call the flatter portion of the map. We're on the, basically when you get south of this highway that I'm on, when you get south of this highway, that's where fields get flat. You can see me, my little yellow arrow right there. That's where I am on the map as I zoom out. We're on the south, I call it the south portion of the map basically. As you go north though, it gets super hilly. When you go south, it's pretty flat. When you go north, it just gets super hilly up there. And then here's kind of what I call the main highway that we're on also. Now, if you look at this path to the left, that was something we were going to do, and we were going to have a railroad and trains go through here. We did not end up doing that idea. So that's what that was originally, to be fully honest and transparent with you guys. Okay, we're going to hit up another farm because there's a lot of farms here. Now, this will be the second dairy farm here. So you got all three options of your dairy calf pen, your dairy heifer pen, and then your dairy pen across here. So there's basically three different stages of the dairy cow that you can throw them in. Now, we got our machine shed. So we got our bin site, so you can still run grain. We got our bale shed. We got another cold storage shed. We got another cold storage shed. And then we have all of our dairy operations over here. We got our dairy huts across here. So take a look right here. We got all of our dairy huts, and then we got dairy pasture over here. So this will be dairy calves, dairy heifers out here in this pen. And then if we go to this over here by the milk tank, that will be just the dairy pen once they're all grown up. So three different stages here. Yeah, we wanted a lot of dairy on this map since we're going to Wisconsin, guys. We have to. Okay, we're going to take you down this gravel road. Now this is actually going to change, guys, and I don't know why I'm showing you guys this farm, because it's going to change. Like, it's going to be completely different by the time this map is released, but we publicly announced that we're going to have Wisconsin, so I'm going to show you guys it anyways. So this originally was going to be a big grain and hog farm. You can see there's hog buildings here. We actually, from a couple recommendations and stuff, this is actually going to end up being a big beef farm. So you're going to have a big beef feedlot, and then you're going to have a cow-calf pen out here instead of these hog barns. And it'll be situated right where these hog barns are. So there will be no hog barns on this farm. It'll be a big beef and grain farm. But you can check out the bin site here. I love that cross auger going across there, connecting the bins. So let me pull out over here. Giant grain site, and then you got Quonset, you got your house across here, you got an old barn, and then you have your machine shed here, which this is one of our bigger machine sheds. There's basically three big machine shed shops. This is the, oh, I gotta buy the building. There we go. This is basically one of the larger ones right here. But basically, guys, this map, this Wisconsin map has 7 different farms now across it. So there's 7 different farm options. I really want to make sure there's a lot of big farming operations. I personally love running the bigger farming operations, but I also love starting on the smaller farming operations too, and then basically working my way up. So that's the big thing we did. Got a lot of terrain, a lot of hills across this map. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this map and enjoy a lot of the farming operations. It was really thought out, and the whole squad built team came together, and I think we built a pretty solid map. So I know this is gonna be my favorite farm. This is gonna be the farm I play a lot on, is what I'm guessing. This one right here. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I would truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you for all the support on Squad Built. We're continuing to expand, continuing to build more stuff for American farming, and continue to add stuff and just make this game better overall. So I want to thank you guys for sticking with us for so long, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.